Wait, hi Shilla. So, I've been talking about starting a podcast for a while. I know this. This is not my podcast. This is me going through it today, honestly, and I love talking to myself. I love talking to I'm my own therapist, honestly. That's why I love therapizing, y'all. Um so today is just like a little therapy session for me, except I might post this, might not, don't know, because I look like I'm going through it. Don't know if I want that on the internet, but at the same time, we all go through it at one point, so it's all fine, it's good. Today I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind lately, and it's honestly been affecting me so much, and that is that I feel like I enable people to cross my boundaries and disrespect me, not in the sense that I don't have self-worth or I can't set those boundaries and have someone maintain the respect for me. But what I mean by it is that I always give them an excuse for how they act or what they do because I think I can analyze why they do that. For example, if someone like is disrespectful with me and reacts a certain way, if I ask them a question or if I'm like, are you lying about this? And they get all defensive and all this, my first thing is, oh my God, they're lying to me. That's not my first thought. My first thought is, oh my God, they're getting all defensive and this because they saw that environment in their home, or that's how they like grew up to be because of that environment at home or that environment around their friends. You get me? Like even when it comes to friends and families, like it's never just people I meet, and it's because I always put people at like such a high like scale, whether I just met them or I've known them forever, because I just feel like people don't do wrong. I always feel like I have to give them benefit of the doubt because I just love, like, I don't know, is it psychoanalyzing? I love analyzing people. So if I meet someone and they just be doing stuff, it's not like because I want to fix them in a sense. It's just because I want to understand them. And, you know, sometimes angry people are just sad people. So when I see someone be upset or like do some stuff where they're going to disrespect me, I just don't take it to heart, honestly. Maybe it's like the mom instincts in me, honestly. Don't listen to me when I say that. That is, don't let anyone disrespect you. But what I mean by that is when I have someone at such a high scale, which I always do with people again, whether I just met them or I've known them forever, I just never see that they can do anything wrong. I'll be like, oh, it's fine. They didn't mean that. And I'll excuse it. And I'll excuse it over and over and over and over again. And then when I'm so hurt by how bad they treated me over and over and over again, then I fall into this little pit of, is this my fault? And the thing is, I guess you could say it is my fault, but not my fault in the sense where this happened because of me, but this happened because I let it. Now, I'm not saying I'm blaming myself, and don't blame yourself if this is what you're thinking, but if you're going to enable someone to disrespect you or cross their boundary, they will have that green light to do it. This is just how people are, للأسف يعني. This is what I've learned, honestly, especially in college. People will cross your boundaries if they even see that you let them a little bit. Doesn't matter who. And I'm talking friends and family. Boundaries are there to be set. You set your own boundaries. The older you grow and the more you learn about yourself, you'll realize what boundaries you want to set. And the thing about them is you set them so people follow those guidelines, those boundaries. And if you don't, and you let a little one slide and another one slide, you're not going to have those boundaries and there's going to be no point. Like, I set a lot of boundaries, honestly, like recently. Before, I was so bad at setting them. But recently, I've been getting way better at it. Why? Because as I said, after letting multiple people hurt me over and over and over and excusing it over and over and over, I learned that I can't put them at such a high scale because I hold myself to a higher scale, and putting them at a high scale just affects how I'm treating myself, and I'm just not going to do that to myself, honestly. I feel like I've done enough healing and self-growth that I'm not risking my mental health and stability for someone who's even testing my limits, my boundaries, and my respect. Honestly, what are you doing? Like, sometimes I get so mad at how disrespectful people can get. And by disrespect, I don't just mean like someone like being straight up mean to you or having an attitude. Disrespect can come in multiple ways, girl. Like, they can talk about you. They can not respect your time, your space. They can like not like, for example, you'd say I don't like this and they would do this and this. You know, that boundary for them is like nothing. It's like you telling them no and they're still gonna do it. And that's the thing. We can't be letting that happen. And I know I say this and I still let it happen sometimes, but it's one of the things that I really work on the hardest, because as someone who struggled with anxiety since they were little, like really bad anxiety, I'm still learning how to set those boundaries and how to be firm and not let anyone slide. Like, it's so hard for me to speak up for myself, not because I can't, not because I don't have the confidence to, but because I always care about how people feel more than how I feel. I don't want to hurt their feelings even though they're hurting mine. When the first question is, why are you being disrespectful, crossing my boundaries and hurting my feelings? Let's start with that. Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, this conversation can go on for hours. This is my thing. It's only been 6 minutes. I could go on for hours about this, guys. This is why I'm starting a podcast. I'm too good at this. I'm way too good at this. And also, I love this. As I was saying, what was I saying? Yes, it's not that I don't know how to speak up for myself. It's that I don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. And that's my issue. If I need to stand up to someone who's hurting my feelings, then I shouldn't have to worry about theirs, because they didn't think about mine before they thought about being that disrespectful girl. And like, that's the thing, when I get anxious and I want to like set that boundary or stand up for myself, my first thought is, oh my God, they're going to tell their friends that I said this, or they're going to get upset and not talk to me. So what if they don't talk to you? So what if they told their friends that they were disrespectful and got like put in their place? That's so embarrassing for them. They got upset and didn't talk to you. Girl, you just saved yourself a bunch of disrespect. You don't lose anything in these situations. And that's the thing I'm also learning. Again, as I said, you don't lose when it comes to your self-respect. When you put that boundary, anything that goes from not crossing that boundary was never worth your time, is never going to be worth your time, and you just saved yourself a lot of emotional and physical and every type of like effect you could possibly think of, because people are draining. Again, not just the disrespect and like boundaries being crossed, but also what I do, which is I analyze and excuse everything that they do, because I think, oh, they went through this probably when they're little, so that's why they act that way, you know? Like I know one thing that pisses me off the most in people is sorry I keep pausing, by the way, because I talk so much I can't breathe, so I go like this, I go like that to breathe. As I was saying, one of the most types of people that I've encountered in college, in uni, which is surprising honestly, because we're supposed to be adults and like maturing, is entitled people. The thing about entitled people is that they're like low-key narcissistic. They don't see that they're wrong. And it's not like they just think that way like as a joke. They seriously think that way. I don't think you guys understand. Narcissists and entitled people were raised that way. So like, again, a part of me is like, oh my God, no, they were raised that way. I can't blame them. But you are grown. You are grown. Why are you not like checking yourself? Why are you not assessing your actions and the way you are? Do you not have social cues? Do you not see how people like, okay, let's say you were raised in a bad environment. As you grow up, you learn different things and you're supposed to understand different things and fix some things about yourself. You know, as I was saying, these entitled people that I be meeting at uni honestly shock me. Like, I thank God in mama rabbatni, like my mom raised me the way I am, because like, I'm not saying these are bad people, you know, but some of these entitled people think they have every right to take what they want, whether it's emotion from you, like emotionally taking stuff from you, you know, like energy or whatever, or actual stuff. Like, I'm not even kidding. Whether it's your time, whether it's energy, whether it's money, whether it's a lot of things, they have entitlement to so much that they don't see that it is entitlement. They were raised that way, where they were given everything and hand fed everything their entire life, that they just think they deserve it. They just think they own it. That's what honestly like gets me the most. Like, okay, في مرة I was sitting and there was like a bunch of moms and grandmas and kids. I was with my little siblings, okay? This grandma, like the kids were passing out candies and gifts and everything. It was like a school thing. Anyways, this grandma sitting with her little girl. Okay, they were so cute, by the way. And every time they brought like a bag of like food or candy, the girl, you could tell she was like really shy. The grandma would bring down the basket and tell her, what do you want? And pick everything and then give it to her. But the thing is, they had this rule that everyone just takes one thing, you know, like just take one thing so everyone can get something. She'd let her pick everything and she'd give it to her and she'd be like, okay, but say thank you. You get me? Like, there's the manners, but there's also the entitlement. And that's what shocks me, is because in uni, there's a lot of entitled people, but they're so like, they're like good people, but they're so entitled. And it honestly shocks me. And I didn't understand how they were raised, since they are good people but act entitled. It just wasn't clicking in my head that day when I saw like she was getting all that candy, giving it to her, and then just saying, say thank you. So it's okay to get as much as you want, even though everyone else is getting just one thing, as long as you say thank you. Blew my mind, because I was like thinking for the longest time, how does someone grow up with manners and is still entitled? And I just couldn't figure it out. And I figured it out that day. Felt like a full-on psychologist, by the way. But it's crazy. Like, y'all, I love analyzing people. It's way too fun. I studied a bunch of psychology books because I wanted to be a profiler in the FBI after watching Criminal Minds. As you can see, I'm not going that career path because I'd like to remain friends, like on good terms, neutral. Don't need no enemies. Don't need no criminals knowing I exist. Thank you very much. I'd like to remain safe and my family's safe, you know? So, but it's actually crazy because I analyze everything everyone does. I can analyze body language or the way that they talk or anything. When I tell you everything and anything, I mean anything and everything. Like sometimes I just feel like I have spiritual powers, you know, because I can analyze it way too well. But the thing is, when it comes to me, I just act blind, you know. I don't know what it is. Maybe denial about not wanting to understand what's going on. But I'm working on it, guys. Anyways, what time is it? It's 1:40. I have uni. I want to keep talking, honestly. But I think this is good enough for today. Loving this mic, by the way. The hair, though, not so much. I'm kind of like a little concerned for myself. Also, I haven't tested out this camera in good lighting. I kind of want to see what it looks like. Because, like, I want to film my podcasts, but I also want to have, like, you know, like, I want to show videos. Like, even when I look like this, because if I'm listening to podcasts about being, like, depressed or, like, going through it or something, I want to see that the person's going through it. I want to feel connected. I don't feel like the only crazy person listening to this, you know. Anyways. Thank y'all for coming to my TED Talk. Sorry for looking a little crazy. And I'm going to go to sleep.